We are now recording. Folks, this is April the 28th, 2020. I am Chip Wheeler. I'm Patricia Brinson. We call her Trish. Some of you call her Pistol. I happen to be her granddad, and we're kicking off a program. So right now, we'd like to share a highlight video with you before we get started. So sit back, relax, and watch this young lady do her thing. Outstanding. Stand by, folks. Well, Miss Patricia, isn't that amazing? Folks, again, let me introduce myself. I'm Chip Wheeler, William Wheeler, Dr. Wheeler. You'll hear some of the kids call me Paps, all the same guy. I happen to be, among other things, Miss Patricia's grandfather, one of her two grandfathers. Tanika, her mom, my youngest daughter, asked me to serve as your host tonight. So I'm going to be kind of walking you through some things that we hope to do. Guys, we're here on a very special occasion. As all of you know, Trish is now wrapping up her high school career and about to begin her college career. So she's closing one chapter in her life as she opens the book on a new chapter in her life. And she and her mom, her dad, wanted to have you people who were so instrumental in the early stages of her life to be here with her as she makes that transition. And she's sharing some skills and things that she's developed along the way that have actually opened some fantastic doors for her. She's got a great announcement that she's going to share. Let me get some logistical things out of the way, because what we're trying to produce for her through this experience is something of a yearbook. You know, Trish and the other kids were involved in Cyber Academy, so they weren't in a brick and mortar environment. They don't have a traditional yearbook. But what we'd like to do is provide for Trish something that she can look at 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, and further, look back on and not only see herself as she evolved, but we wanted to see who was with her along the way. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do, a couple of things. One, I'm going to ask you to keep mics closed and your cameras closed until you're being given an opportunity to speak, and several of you have been asked to speak. I'm also going to ask that you help us out with your names. We want Trish, when she looks back at this, to see a full roster of those of you that were here during this experience. So if you have logged in now and all we see is your device, iPhone, iPad, Galaxy, then text, put a chat in the chat box, and I'm going to ask you to use that in a moment, with your full name, first and last, and one of our two administrators will change that for you, so she does have the benefit of your full name. Now, a couple other things. We've already talked about the cameras and the mics. I have two gentlemen that's going to be helping me this evening. One of those is Mr. Lamar Blackman. You can see his name in his tile. And the other is Mr. Jonathan Glasgow. Now, these guys happen to be highly skilled Georgia Tech engineers, way over skilled. Actually, I'm sorry, I have three, because Tanika's dad, Dale Brinson, Lardell Brinson, I believe is how he's listed here, is also going to help us. So if you guys have any challenges along the way, these highly skilled IT engineering types will be able to help you. Unfortunately, they have skills I don't, and I will not be able to help you. That's why I'm just going to be a pretty face for you tonight, even with all this hair on my head. So that's COVID-19 is the reason for that. Can't get to the barbershop. Ain't it great? Now, chat box down at the bottom of your screen, and maybe at the top, you're going to see a chat box. If you click on that chat box, you can leave a message for Trish as you would if you were signing her yearbook. And that's a message that she will be able to hold on to for years from now. Now, we need you not to send it specifically to Trish, but to put it in the general so that it will be recorded, and we will in turn share that with her. All righty. I believe all of the coaches that are going to speak have been identified. If one of the gentlemen that are helping me can give me some direction on Coach T, I'll call on her as directed to do so. Okay, hearing nothing, I'm not going to call on her unless one of you tells me that I should. So we're going to go down the coaches as I've indicated when we get to them. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, welcome. Thank you guys for joining us. Wasn't that a wonderful highlight video? You guys, many of you were instrumental in helping Trish develop those skills, were on the sideline, could probably hear yourself cheering for her. So none of that came as a surprise to you. For others of you, maybe it was just amazing to see this young lady develop the way that she developed. We're all clear on why we're here. She's the center stage this time. It's our opportunity to encourage her as she closes one chapter, opens a new chapter in her life. I see another coach has joined us, so I just need a text to know whether or not that's a coach that I need to call on. All right, guys, we're all here in part because there were parents that helped us along the way, that not only carried us and delivered us, but nurtured us and supported us. And Trish has several. She's been blessed to have all of them still be around. So let's start by meeting Trish's grandparents on her dad's side, and those are the two grandparents in Valdosta. So if I could get Ben and Patricia. By the way, Patricia Joyce Brinson, you call her Pistol, is named after her two grandmothers. So you're about to meet one of her grandmothers, that's Patricia Brinson, and her grandfather, that's Ben Brinson, and they're both in Valdosta. So folks, if I could get you to open your cameras, we'd like to put you center stage and give everyone a chance to take a look at you. Can I get the two of you to open up for me, please? Outstanding. Stand by. For the recording, I'm putting you in center stage. That's not working. That's not what I want to do.
You have the slideshow up, Chip.
Aha, okay. Excuse me. Let me take that down. There they are. Well, there's Miss Patricia and there's Ben next to her. Guys, did you want to say something to Patricia or to the group?
I just want to say congratulations, Tricia. I'm very proud of you. I love you, and I will always be here for you. Way to go, girl.
Outstanding. Ben, how about you?
Way to go, Trish. Continue to strive to be the best that you can be. And just know, Papa will always love you and very, very proud of you.
Outstanding. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Patricia. Good to see you guys.
Good
All
to
right.
see you too.
Thank you. Thank you. All righty. How about my wife, Joyce's, and Patricia's other namesake? She's both Patricia and Joyce. Let's hear from Patricia's grandmother in Atlanta. Joyce, can you open up for us, please?
Well, I am totally excited about you, Trish. I really, really am. I know you're about to take off and do some awesome, awesome things. We're looking forward to being able to see you one day on television and have them say, here's the superstar, Miss Pistol, Patricia, Brinson. Ain't it great?
Outstanding. Thank you, Joyce. Tricia, I wasn't on the schedule to say something because I'm talking all the time, but you know, I love you, appreciate you. I'm so proud of you. Tricia and I have worked together actually in the business since she was like 12 years old. She promised me she wouldn't get older until she turned 13. So, but I just love my times of interaction with my granddaughter and loved watching her grow and develop. So Trish, we know this is simply chapter 2 in your life. And there are going to be many, many more, but we're all glad to be here as you enter this chapter of your life. Outstanding. Now, let's meet Trish's parents. How about Dell? Dell, would you open up for us? This is Lardell Brinson, guys. Here he is. Looks like he's got the family with him, too.
Good evening. There we go. Good evening. I just want to thank everyone for coming out. Very proud of Patricia. Look forward to hear everyone's thoughts. They're sharing their memories as she has progressed from a little tot to now a signed college basketball player. So, good evening.
Outstanding.
And
Dell,
this,
the others that are there want to just say hey to her?
yeah, this is my wife Alexis. This is my daughter Kiana, her sister, and that's her other sister Trinity. And the rest of them.
Where that boy with all that hair? What happened to Malik?
Malik, hurry up.
Lex. Oh my God.
And Lex?
Hey guys. Oh God.
I'm Brandon.
There we go. Oh,
Trish, there's your cheerleaders, Trish. They've been cheering you along all the way. Ain't it great? I don't see Lex, and we're about to go ahead and move on.
Okay.
Lex, missed a chance to be a star.
He's right here.
Lex, stick your head in.
Say hello.
Hey. How you doing? Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all of you guys. All righty, guys. I'm going to walk down the program with you now. Stand by. And let's go back into a share screen. Okay, on your screen now. Let's see, it's not coming. There it is. You should now see our program. This is what we're going to accomplish this evening. And we're going to move very quickly through this. Let me get something to point out as I walk through. All right, we've completed our welcome. Trish has, as all of us do, a very, very interesting story, and her mother has put it together in a tremendous way. Tanika, I'm sorry I didn't bring you up as I closed out with Dell, but I know I'm about to turn the program over to you, so you will have that opportunity to obviously speak to Trish and to all of us. But she's going to share her story. And when she wraps up, before she introduces Trish to you, they put together another video for you. This video will show you Trish's development from 4th grade to 12th grade, and that will absolutely blow your mind. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. We're then going to hear from Trish herself, and she's got a wonderful announcement that she wants to share. And you know, Trish has accomplished the things she's accomplished through hard work, through the love and support she's received from her family, but also through some hard work from a number of trainers and coaches that saw potential in Trish and knew how to draw that potential out of her and worked with her every step of the way. Well, her mom has asked several of those coaches to share a couple of moments tonight with you and with Trish. So we're going to give them a chance to speak when we get to that place in the program. We have a very close friend who happens to be a pastor. That's Pastor Marjorie Dent. We've asked her to close us out with a word of prayer this evening. And we're going to then finally hear one more time from Trish from Dell, and from Tanika. All right. That said, I'm going to go ahead and this time drop my screen, close my mic, and we're going to turn our program over to Trisha's mom, a woman who's been there with every step of the way. I tell you what, Trish made the shots, but Tanika must have prayed them in, and there was never a time when this young lady was not standing next to this
program and
as she grew
everything.
in development. Here's Tanika, folks.
Well, thank you guys so much. Thanks, Doc, for hosting, and thank everybody for who has made it here today. This absolutely would have been done in person, but with our new normal, here we are sitting online, and we didn't want Pistol to miss out on the opportunity to share this with her friends and her family because of our current circumstances. So again, thank you for bearing with us and dealing with this new type of situation and technology, and helping to create this memory that she can look upon for years and years and years to come. So let's go ahead and get started on her story. Who would have thought, looking at this cute little baby newborn picture, that Patricia Joyce would grow up to be a pistol? Well, if you've known her from birth, then it is of no surprise that she's always been a fierce competitor. Patricia Joyce, as Doc mentioned, named after her grandmothers, started competing in the womb. She is the only child of my three that went to term. She learned to tie her shoes and ride her bike before her big brother. And I think at one point she might have been the bodyguard for both her brother and her sister. She had absolutely no fear, or it could have just been that that was the cost of being the youngest child, pushed on to the front line of battle. When Trisha's brother and sister became competitive swimmers, she jumped right in behind them. I'll never forget the 100 medley that she used to do across our family room floor. Fly back, breast free, I'm so fast, you can't catch me. Patricia couldn't stand to be left behind. You couldn't tell her she was too young or too small. If Jaya and Malik could do it, then there was absolutely no reason in Patricia's eyes that she couldn't do it. At the age of 7, little Miss Patricia decided she wanted to branch off and be a cheerleader. I have absolutely no idea where that thought came from, because we're not exactly the cheerleading type of family. Nevertheless, we supported that dream because that is the type of family that we are. She did one season, and then she came up with this next big dream, and that was basketball. She later told me that she spent the entire cheer season looking through the glass at all the kids that were on the courts. And I guess it was at that time, in the midst of all that was going on, that she decided that she'd rather be the reason people cheered opposed to being the cheerleader on the sideline. I mean, the action is all out there on the court. So now, let's put this into perspective. At this point, Trish was still knee-high to a grasshopper, like literally this size. And while I was all about supporting each child's dream and big idea, I absolutely could not afford any of them to try this and then try that, and never really develop a niche. So when cheerleading season was over, we took a break, or I guess I should say I took a break, because little Miss Persistent did not. She literally played on the goal outside and this imaginary goal she had inside, and she pressured me for an entire year, until one day I came across this sign titled "The Sky's the Limit Basketball Camp." I figured, let's see how serious she really is. We walked into that gym, and I don't know if Coach Burton remembers this. On the first day, Trish may have been similar in age to some of the campers, but she certainly was not in size. In fact, I think that she was the smallest camper that entire summer. I thought surely she'd be intimidated, and the dream of playing basketball, it would end with the summer. I could not have been more wrong. This girl would not be denied. She earned her spot on the A team every week and eventually became trained by, she began training with the camp's founder, Coach Adonis Burton, former professional basketball player. He noticed that basketball twinkle in her eye, and it was with him that we began her basketball journey. From that point forward, it seemed basketball began to run through her veins. She ate, drank, and thought about basketball all the time. The saying, any gym is home, was absolutely phrased for her. Our free time, her free time, my free time, and even some of her siblings' free time was spent in the gym. She was committed to the sport, and she was gaining an extended family of basketball sisters, basketball moms, and basketball dads. Pistol has played on several teams over the years, and while transitioning from one team to the next, often felt like leaving behind family. With each team grew her passion and love for the sport, along with her desire to play on the next level. As her desires grew, so did her village, because the reality is there is absolutely no way that she could have reached such heights with just her efforts alone. From the trainers that spent countless hours in the gym with Pistol before and after practice and on weekends when they clearly could have been someplace else, to the coaches that left their homes early so they could scoop up Pistol because she refused to miss practice and I had somewhere else to be. The friends that have been Pistol's sounding board. You cheered and celebrated the successes, and you listened to her rants and raves when things didn't go quite as planned. And need I not forget our family, immediate and extended. Sean and Leek have stretched across bleachers when we've spent the entire day, literally, in the gym. You've understood when we were unable to make your events because of tournament of games. You've all, everybody online, those who didn't make it, you guys have all understood and you still supported us along the way. You've helped us to raise funds and cover expenses. You've dropped off and picked up when I was overextended. And I can't forget my mom and my dad. You guys have opened your home. You've taken care of my kids and their pets, with an S, when we were traveling around the world. God surrounded us with the perfect set of people, all of whom played a part in Pistol's development, which helped her to not only compete on the court, but off the court as well. For years, people questioned the decision to keep Pistol in online school, especially through high school. Take a look at the screen. I just want you to get a glimpse of some of the reasons why we stayed the course. I'm convinced Pistol would have soared athletically wherever she played. But the biggest reason for our decision was to ensure she got a good education, completely uninhibited. Pistol has been a dually enrolled student since her sophomore year. She will graduate with 52 college credits, making her about 8 credits shy of being a junior in college. And she didn't just attend classes to say she was taking college courses. She has excelled in each class, earning academic recognition from that institute. Both NSLS, the National Society of Leadership and Success, and NTHS, the National Technical Honor Society, were accolades received this year from her academic success at the college. It wasn't enough to be athletically strong in our house. All the kids knew to continue to maintain their extracurricular outlets, they also had to maintain acceptable posture in the classroom. Without the grades, there was absolutely no sport. Education was made to enrich their minds. Strong minds made them strong in anything they would choose to pursue. So as I wrap this up, please permit me just a few more minutes just to tell you how good God really is. Pistol and I were reminiscing recently, and I realized how powerful this verse truly is. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Pistol played her 9th grade year with Colonial Hills Christian School. And during that run for the state championship, we were met with several roadblocks, some of which didn't really make sense at the time, all of which led us to playing Central Christian School for the state title. We lost that day, making us runner-ups. And we also learned that day that Colonial Hills was closing. So that day, we were actually adopted into another basketball family, and that absolutely changed our lives. We may have lost the game that day, but we went on to win 3 championships with a new family. Those previous roadblocks that were initially unclear brought light into this basketball journey for Pistol. The entire school family, they embraced us with open arms, and this has been an amazing ride. And I'm so glad that we were able to make a 3-year pit stop at Central Christian along the way. For it was God's plan for us to land here so that Pistol could begin the next chapter in this unforgettable journey, having been coached and mentored by 3 very amazing coaches. They have pushed her and brought the best out of her during this time. Pistol has morphed into a beautiful butterfly. And I know that Coach Jenkins, Coach Andrew, and Coach Stevens are probably thinking, it's about time. So without further ado, what you've all been waiting for.
You have to come on this side. Okay.
Stand by, Trish. Come out of share. Folks, here's Patricia Brinson.
I want to thank everyone for coming and celebrating such a great moment with me. Everybody in this meeting has had something to do with my development. I have made this decision strongly because I believe it will help further my education towards psychology and learning about different special needs and further better my basketball skills. Back to you, Paps.
Thank you, Trish. And we are all so proud of you. Guys, you've heard me say this before. Those of you that know me know that nobody makes it in life without a lot of support. And you've seen some of that support. Let me see if I can get my up on Trish's camera for my purposes, for her recorded purposes. Stand by. Here we go. Outstanding. Here we go. Guys, Trish is obviously a very talented person. I believe she truly has a God-gifted talent that had to be developed. God gives us all talents, and then what we do with them becomes our gift back to him. Well, Tricia served that gift back to God, but she had a lot of help along the way of doing that. You've seen her mom, you've seen her dad, you've seen her grandparents. There are many friends on here with us now that were there for Trish, cheering her along the way. But there were also some men and women in Tricia's life that took on the role of trainer and coaches and willing to pass on skills that they developed to her. Her mom, Tanika, has asked several of them if they would come forward this evening and leave a remark or two for her. We're going to ask each of them to take 2 minutes. I'm going to work my way down the list. I'm going to start with Coach Bruce. I'm going to go on to Coach Burton, Coach Carlos, Coach Gerard, and we're going to wrap up with Coach Andrews and Coach Stevens. Now, before we start, Tanika, I saw a couple of other coaches log in. I don't want to leave out anybody that you had in mind. Did we ever get a confirmation from Coach T, and do I need to work her in? And is there anyone else that you would like me to work in?
Coach T is working, and I'm not sure about the other coaches that logged in if they want to speak.
Then we're going to go with that list as I named it. So coaches, I hope you're all now ready. And as I call your name, what we'll ask you to do, if you would, is open your mic and open your camera. My guys are going to help me keep mine closed while you're talking so that we can focus our attention on you and provide for Trish something that 10 years down the road will be those words that you've shared with her. You brought her here. Now let's take her to the next level. Let's start with Coach Bruce. Coach Bruce, can you join us?
I'm here. Well, Pistol, you know, I didn't directly coach you, but there's an administration role behind you. You've always been an outstanding young woman. You're the blueprint of what a person should be like, an athlete, a student athlete should be like. It was my honor to be around you. It was my honor to watch you, and I would have paid to see you play. I wish you the best of luck, and I can't wait to see the great thing God has in store for you. God bless you, Pistol.
Thank you, Coach Bruce. Appreciate you being with us and appreciate those kind remarks. How about Coach Burton? Coach Burton, are you with us? Can you join us now?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Go right ahead.
Wow, I'm just overwhelmed with joy and happiness for Pistol. I've been knowing her since she was 8 years old when she first came to my camp. And yes, Tanika, I do remember when she first came and, you know, she had this little baby face, but she was an assassin. And what I mean by that, she didn't have any fear. She played her heart out. And just being in my training sessions, she always gave 100%. And, you know, being a former collegiate and professional athlete, I know what it takes to get to the next level. And all the passion that I give to these kids, you know, it's definitely worthwhile when it's reciprocated. And Pistol did exactly that. She brought a, you know, the sky's the limit attitude. She worked hard. She always displayed the proper work ethic. And I know she's going to make her college of choice a great student athlete, especially, you know, on the court and even more so off the court. She's a born leader. She's positive. She's going to be great in the locker room. And just a few words of advice I want to give you, Pistol. Of course, you're going to have some bumps in the road. You know, the workouts may be challenging, you may be tired, but at the end of the day, and you remember these 3 words for as long as you live, keep God first. And if you keep God first, everything else will fall into place, sweetie. Trust me, I'm so proud of you. Congrats on your college choice. And I would love for you to come back and, you know, be a part of my future camps and training sessions, just to kind of give these other kids and, you know, the trainees and the campers some words of wisdom in terms of what it takes to get to that next level, because it's not easy. And it takes a special person, and you are that. Just like I said, you know, that passion that you reciprocated towards me made me want to work harder for you. And I'm so proud of you. Keep up the good work. And again, keep God first and everything will be fine.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Coach Burton. We appreciate you being with us.
Thank you.
And she will surely remember those remarks. Outstanding. Can I get Coach Carlos to light up for us now, if you would?
Yes, hello. How y'all doing? And congratulations, Pistol, Jamaica and Dale, for the long suffering and efforts y'all put in with Pistol. And when Pistol came to me, she was a young girl, and she came to my sessions. And at the hour, I always have my kids training with other college kids. And the whole deal from the beginning with Pistol, I asked her when she was a kid, what did she want to do? She said she wanted to go to college and play ball. And she did those things. She came in as a young lady. She was tough. I run a strenuous training session, and Pistol was a little girl. Her TT, the group of girls I had, they train with a lot of players. A lot of the girls she train with now is college graduates, coaches, and the guys she trained with at the time is overseas players and things of that nature. But one thing Pistol always brought to the table was determination. And the determination in that heart will take you a long way, Pistol. So just hang in there and do the things that you was taught to do that's engraved in you as you been as a kid until now. So I see your academics achievements, and I know that sky's the limit for you. And when you tie up your shoes in college, remember, your chances is just as greater than any other girl that's on the college level. So Coach said it best, you always put God first. That's your first order, and everything else will fall in place. And Coach, remember, keep that gooseneck up and keep it rolling. And Coach Carlos, I love you, and you will be doing good. And you can always come back and give back, just like the ex-players used to come back from different parts of the country and talk to you all. Now it's your turn to talk to them. And Pistol, I love you, and thank you to Tamika and Dale for letting me be a part of this mission. And God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Carlos. I sure appreciate that. Looks like you're working tonight. I saw you working earlier with those kids right there to your left and right. So.
Oh, yes, sir.
Outstanding. Hang in there, guys.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, we've got Coach Gerard, who I got to meet earlier. Coach Gerard, would you now light up for us? Go ahead and open your camera and your mic.
How's it going? How's it going? Congratulations, Pistol. I just want to tell you one thing, hard work produces confidence. And you work hard, then you'll become confident in that what you're working hard in. But also, keep God first. God is the source. Everything else is a resource. And as long as you remember that, then you're going to go so far in life that you continue to live for the audience of one, which is Him. And He will bless you in whatever endeavor you may have. And I just wanted to just give you those words of encouragement. The best, you'll do great. And that competitive heart that you have. God bless.
Thank you, Coach Gerard. Appreciate you. Well, guys, we've got 2 more coaches, and we're going to wrap up with each of them. I just want to make sure from Tanika and from my 2 administrators that I've not missed a coach. So am I good to proceed, guys?
Make sure you add Coach
Say it one more time, Lamar, please.
Coach Teresa needs to be added.
Outstanding. Well, we are now ready to hear from Coach Teresa. Coach Teresa, I didn't get a chance to see you earlier, so I don't know about your camera and stuff, but if you wouldn't mind opening your camera and your mic, we'd like to give you an opportunity to give Trish a couple of words. Coach Teresa, are you with us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. Stand by. I'm putting you
Okay.
on the stage. Now, Coach Teresa, can you open your camera?
That's what I'm trying to do.
All right, I'm going to send you a signal that says start your video. If you'll click on that signal, it should open your camera.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Guys, Coach Teresa was the only one I didn't have a chance to do this with before we got started, so I'm not going to blame her for that. And Coach Teresa, if you can't get it open, it's your words that are going to follow her through her next few years. So share your words with her if you would.
Okay. Well, hey, Pistol. It's Coach T, and it has been a pleasure, and it was a pleasure to be able to coach you, even to watch you grow through middle school, and then to coach you in high school. And I know you're going to do great things. I know you did great things when you went to Central. And I know God is going to continue to bless you. I wish you the best. And I will stay in touch with your mom to see how you're doing as you pursue your future endeavors. And know that I love you. And I'm so grateful and humbled to be able to have coached you. And to also to have your mom there, right there on the side as an assistant coach. And it was a fun time, and I wish you the best, and may God continue to bless you as you move on to college and you pursue basketball.
Well, Coach T, thank you. I am glad you made it in. We were hoping that we'd have a chance to hear from you, and you made it. Thank you so much. Well, folks, we have two more coaches, and as we wrap our program up, we're going to hear first from Coach Andrew, and then I'm going to ask Coach Stevens to close us out. So Coach Andrew, if you are there, would you open your camera, please?
All right.
There he is.
Pistol, this is awesome. I'm glad that I can be a part of this. I'm going to share one little story about Pistol, and then I'm just going to say what I need to say to you. And, you know, when I first met Pistol, I wasn't quite sure that Pistol even liked me. She had that demeanor about her. She was business. And then I got to Central last year, and I didn't know the girls very well. I didn't know Pistol very well, but it was the game against Skipstone. She was guarding a girl, and she was smiling the entire time. And I've never seen a kid do that, a boy or girl, college or youth. And I knew there was something special in you, Pistol. This year, you've grinded out the entire year with me, contacting college coaches, getting you on campuses of schools that wanted you, having college coaches come to practices, and you never got worried. You always stayed even keel. You stayed with a level head. You never pressured me into asking who's coming, who's asking about me. You focused on what you had to focus on, and that was your schoolwork and basketball. And, you know, all the advice I can give to you is keep it up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever let anyone tell you you're not good enough, because I mean, you went out and you got exactly what you wanted, a full ride scholarship to a school where you can follow your dreams and get your education in psychology. I love you. I'm going to follow every game I can there at Nova Southeastern. And I'm going to keep up with Coach Freeland and see how things are going. So do us proud. We love you. God bless you.
Thank you, Coach Andrew. Appreciate you so much. All righty, guys, we're going to wrap up. We've heard from the men and the women that poured their lives into Tricia's life. We've asked one more, Coach Stevens, if he would wrap it up for us with his thoughts that he'd like to share with Trish. Coach Stevens?
Can you hear me and see me?
We've got you. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Uh, I don't know where to start, man. I first got a chance to see Pistol play her 9th grade year. We came to play Colonial Hills, and I remember Coach Bruce at the time telling me about, we got this kid Pistol. She's a lights out point guard. I'm like, well, we're going to see about that, man. And we get there, and I remember in warm-ups, you were kind of shooting and going through layups and stuff, on our side of the court. And I was like, man, dude, like I can even see then, if I ever had a chance to coach a point guard like that, like, you could just tell then, like you just had it. That would be amazing. We had, some slug out fest that year, all the way up to the state title game, and y'all played well and everything. And when y'all came, afterwards and said like, hey, we may be thinking about coming down there. And then y'all told me where y'all lived. I was like, Lithia Springs, bro. How y'all gonna drive all the way down there? But I mean, I think that just showed the commitment that Pistol had, her family had, to help her realize her dream. And with all the people that's here on this meeting, it took a village to get this kid where she's at. And I just want to implore y'all, do not. She's going to be fine. Her work ethic is already there. I have no doubt she's going to be amazing down at Nova Southeastern. Probably going to be some girls that lose their spots down there, but that's how the game goes, and that's how Pistol is. But I just want to implore y'all, when she's down there, don't forget about her. You can call us anytime. Anytime you need help. No more than a phone call, FaceTime away. If we got to go down there, and jack up some little boy, hey, we about it. But it hasn't been said, but I'm going to just go through real quick. I know I only got 2 minutes, but I'm last, so we'll figure it out. Just some accomplishments that this kid has had in just 3 years at our school. Scored over 1,500 points. She will have her jersey retired in our gym sometime next year. We'll get that figured out when. She selected to all region for our league 3 times, all state 4 times, all-star selection 3 times. She has been selected to the first team for the Noonan Times Herald newspaper all-county first team. That includes private school girls and public school girls within the county. West Georgia all-star team 2 times, which I was supposed to coach her. Plus, I want to hear about it. It's not my fault. Hopefully, we'll get that done. Some of her best games, even like this year, just Alexander High School, we lost by 1 versus 6A school that they got well over 2,000 kids, and we gave them a run for their money. And a lot of that had to do with Pistol. Scored 20 out of our 34 points. Versus Shiloh, which is a 7A school, scored 19. 3-time state championship, or 3-time state champion, 2 times NACA All-American. Leaves the school or graduates from the school as one of the most decorated athletes to ever come through there. And it's all earned. She put in the work. There were times, like her mom said, they had wake up on Saturdays and come down and make that trip to Noonan. There were times I had to come get her, but she was always ready. She was always prepared. When she showed up to the gym, she was ready to work. It was never like sluggish. I think the most beautiful thing about Pistol is she cared about that team, how those girls were. I think it's going to bode well for her, not only as a point guard, but as going into psychology. That takes a special type of heart. But she made some lifetime friends there. Gwen and Rachel, Brooke, those girls will never forget you. I think that's as important, if not even more important, as you left the imprint on those girls' lives. left an imprint on mine and also our coaches. And that school will never forget you. Even though you never took a class there, there wasn't a day that went by that those kids weren't asking about, especially this senior class, asking about, pistol, and, how good you were. Even the boys coming out to see you. That's very rare for a girls team, especially at a school our size. So you left that program better than when you joined it. And I couldn't ask more from you. Know that I love you. And also I made it through this without crying. I think I cried before. But kid, you've been amazing. Like I said, you can always call me, talk to me, and I'll always be there for you. Appreciate you, kid.
Thank you so much, Coach Stevens. Boy, those are some powerful words from each of the coaches. Guys, as we wrap up our program and Marjorie comes up and closes us out with a word of prayer, it's interesting that from most of the coaches, it was clear what their spiritual foundation was. We know what Tricia's foundation is, and we know that foundation is going to carry her forward. I just want to say one more thank you to the trainers and the coaches, and I assure you that Trish will do you proud. We haven't seen yet what Trish is going to become in this sport that she has chosen to develop her skills in, but she's going to develop it on the shoulders that you guys have provided for, and we just so appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. All righty, Miss Marjorie Dent, Pastor Dent, if you wouldn't mind opening your camera, we'd like you to close us with a word of prayer, and then I'm going to ask Trish, Dell, and Tanika in that order to come up. Let me see if I can get you on the center screen, Marjorie. Stand by. There you go.
Congratulations, Trish, Dell, and Tanika. I'm so excited about what's happening and all the things that I've heard. And so now as we pray, let us bow our head in reverence. Dear God, we thank you for this great blessing and favor that surrounds this family. We pray that your presence would continually shine on Trish and that you would be gracious to her and give her great peace as she embarks upon this new journey. We ask that you help her always to know how very much she's loved by her parents, grandparents, siblings, relatives, coaches, friends, and especially by you, Lord. Father, help her to be constantly aware that you're always with her. Fill her with the faith to believe your words are true and that your spirit guides her. We pray that you would give her health physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and that you'll protect her and her classmates from disease, illness, or any harm to their minds and spirits. We ask that you equip her for every purpose you have for her life and give her constant endurance to run the race well. We pray that when she encounters various struggles and challenging times, when things do not go her way, that you would teach her great perseverance through it all. We ask for your powerful boldness and courage to face every challenge set before her with a confidence and peace that can only come from your spirit. May she be willing to stand firm and true, passionate for you, believing that you have designed her for purpose and good works, which you have planned and prepared in advance for her to do. Allow every gift and treasure you have placed inside her life to grow, develop, and flourish to bring you glory. And to Trish and family, and to each and every person, may the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Dent. I appreciate that. Pastor Dent, by the way, is also a very good friend of ours, business associate, and has been praying for Trish for many, many years. And I assure you we'll continue to pray for her for many years to come. Thank you again, Marjorie, so much. Trish, Pistol. Miss Patricia, you want to come center stage for us? Any closing thoughts? There you go.
As we near closing, I will be going to Nova Southeastern University, but my heart will always be with you all. I appreciate the fact that each and every one of you have come to share this experience with me. Thank you so much again.
Outstanding, Trish. Appreciate you, babe. Listen, guys, you've heard from her mom. You're going to hear from her dad, and then her mom is going to close it out for us. So, Dell, if you're there, if we can hear a word from you, Mr. Lardell Brinson. There he is.
Well, I just want to first thank everyone that took time out of their busy schedule to attend this ceremony in honor of Patricia. I truly appreciate all the efforts, thoughts, prayers, everything that you contributed to make or assist her to get to this point. Love all you guys. As for me, I keep it brief. One thing I want to say about Patricia, I'll give you a short story. She had to be maybe 6 or 7, and we went to a skating rink with some friends. And at that time, Patricia did not know how to skate. And if anybody know about a skating rink, it's hard. I mean, the floor is hard. There's no forgiveness. It hurts. But she was determined to learn how to skate that day. And I don't know how many times she fell, but every time she fell, I hurt. I wanted to go out there, hey, you know what, just, we'll try again another day. But she was just determined. And by the end of that day, she was skating with everybody else. And that's the type of determination, perseverance that she shows throughout life. She gets knocked down, she gets back up, she bursts herself off, and she continues to press on until she achieves her goal. So Patricia, as long as you keep that mentality, you'll be able to accomplish anything that you set your mind to. We love you, keep God first, and we look forward to seeing you in the banners of the gym.
Outstanding, Dale. Thank you, guy. Appreciate you too so much. All righty, guys. Well, I've asked Tanika and to close this out with her thoughts. Guys, Tanika put all this together. I'm obviously biased. Tanika is our baby girl. So we watched her through all of her developmental stages, and then we watched her be a mom for her 3 kids. We saw her pour into every one of her children, as you guys have seen her pour into Trish. And so when she put this program together and asked me if I wouldn't mind hosting and introducing and kind of walking you guys through it, it's hard to say no to Tanika. If you want to see where Patricia gets her determination from, you don't have to look farther than her mother. This young lady got a 4-year degree in 3 years. I have never seen Tanika allow anything to deny her. When she put her mind to it, she got it done. If you would, Miss Tanika, how about closing us out? Guys, I'm going to leave the site up even as Tanika wraps up, and I'm going to play that highlight video again. Some of you have been so focused that you've not had a chance to leave Trish a text message. And so I'll leave the site up for you to continue doing that. If you've got some words that you'd like to send her off with, words you'd like her to look back on in the years to come, this will be your opportunity to send that. Remember, not specifically to Trish, but click on your chat box, put the words in there, and share your thoughts with Patricia if you would. But Tanika, if you wouldn't mind closing us out, I'd sure appreciate it. Here's Patricia, here's Tanika.
Sure. Thank you so much, Doc. And thank everybody for coming. I am so incredibly overwhelmed with joy and amazement, all the nice things you guys have said to her, and wishing her the best as she moves forward. Thanks everybody who worked behind the scenes. This has been an amazing journey. It has been a very long journey and an amazing journey. And for any of you guys who are wondering, I am not packing up and moving to Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to stay here. I know some of you have wondered if that was going to be my next step. Pia and I have spent a lot of time together, a lot of time in the car, a lot of time around the house. And we've gotten to be extremely close because of that. So a lot of people were wondering if I was going to be able to handle this empty nest, and I think I'll be okay. I appreciate all of the unlimited and unconditional amount of support that each of you guys have given us. So, you know, I will be keeping everybody updated on, you know, live streaming links for the games and all of that stuff. And, you know, thank you guys again so much for taking this time to celebrate in this new normal or whatever. I really wish we could have all been in person. It didn't work out that way, but you guys made this a fabulous and very memorable event. So good night to everybody. There's virtual cake over there in the other room. And if you missed that video, the highlight, like Doc said, please stick around for about 3 more minutes because we'll run it again. You guys stay safe.
Thank you, babe. Love you, sweetheart. Appreciate you so much. Stand by, guys. Here comes that video. Folks, I'm going to keep the site up. If any of you have not had an opportunity,
Played it again. You should have did it again.
stand by, Joyce. If any of you have not had an opportunity to send Trish a chat message, please go ahead and do that at this point. I'll go ahead and play it again, giving you that time to send your chat messages. Ain't it great, folks? Listen, if any of you would like a copy of this evening's session, reach out to Tanika. She'll be making that available. We did it in Zoom. Zoom does provide us a full copy, which in fact will give you a copy of both of the videos, plus the things that her coaches had to say, the things that Trish said, things her mom and dad said. Well, that's it, guys. Let me see if I can check with my administrators. How are we doing on the chat, guys? Should I take it down? Do we still have people chatting?
Looks like we're done with the chat.
Miss Tanika, you ready for me to take it down?
Yeah, looks like we're done.
Outstanding. I will stop the recording as we speak.